How's everybody doing this evening? I certainly hope you're doing well. You know, this is going to be a little bit different video than videos past. But I'm going to explain to you in detail why it is that I support Anonymous. And I truly do. I support and believe in their ideology and the way they go about doing things. Now, as I know it, Anonymous was created back in 2003, and they came from different forums all over the web, specifically 4chan, predominantly 4chan, all right? And what's really neat about this organization is they have no absolute leadership. They don't have presidents and vice presidents and generals and secretary of states and that sort of thing. No. It's more like every man is his own army, but collective, in order to somehow go after either a certain organization, whether it be a financial institution or maybe a world government, who knows. And these people act in such a way, and they have different sets of skills that can create absolute chaos and havoc on any given target. Now, people call these individuals terrorists. They say, oh, but Anonymous, the members of Anonymous are terrorists. Really now? Well, how do you figure? They're terrorists because you said they're terrorists, or they're terrorists because they're putting an absolute wrench in your day? Are they terrorists because you said they were, or are they terrorists because everybody said they were? I'm not understanding this. And by the way, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. Now see, back in the day, they went after an organization called Scientology. And I was all for that because I tell you what, Scientology is the biggest scam going of all time. It's some kind of farce religion that acquires, or rather takes money from all these different people, big money too, big money, and just absolutely manipulates these people into thinking of who knows what, upside down butterflies on the ceiling, or you have to pray in a certain way, and who knows what. It's absolutely ridiculous. Scientology is. So when the group Anonymous was pointing out the operational situation of Scientology and how ridiculous they were, especially with different things like security and the way they went about doing things and their organization in general, then, you know, a lot of people disagreed with that. I'm not one of them. Do I think that these people, Scientology, have the freedom to operate and do what they do because we live in a free country? Well, sure. But on the other hand, people are free to do what they do to disagree. Why not? And because somebody is going to come along and disagree with you, then you have the right to come about with your goons and physically remove somebody because they're protesting or who knows what they're doing? Because your organization has more money and supposed some sort of political clout? Really now? So I agreed with that, absolutely. And then you had the situation with Mr. Assange of WikiLeaks. And what this gentleman was doing is he was gathering all this information, whether he did it himself or acquired it from a third party. And he published this information of world government secrets on his website. So all these people that had some sort of financial relationship with Assange, what did they do? They cut him off. They didn't want to do business with him anymore. They didn't want to hold his money anymore because maybe they're a bank or some sort of financial institution. So what happened? Yeah, Anonymous got involved. Sure did. And they absolutely inundated those different financial organizations and rendered them helpless for a couple of days via their websites or some sort of operational situation. Do I agree with those tactics? Yeah, I do. Now, is somehow this video that I'm putting out right now, is this somehow going to affect my employment 5 years from now because I was going to get a contract job at Raytheon or Stargate, or get a contract job for GTE or Lucent Technologies? Chances are it probably will. Because, you see, we're not really free to think anymore in this country now, are we? You're a terrorist because you've been taught to be a terrorist. You're a terrorist because that television has told you that you are a terrorist. You're a terrorist because your neighbor, your bank, your employment, your government, the little pamphlets, the newspaper, the internet, everything that you come in contact with is telling you that you are the terrorist. That you're the terrorist. The TSA has got to grab your balls and you know, it's got to feel up your mother and your grandmother over there because you're the terrorist. Because you have to be indoctrinated. You have to be taught. And you have to be conditioned psychologically to know that you, your family, your friends, and your neighbors, all of them are terrorists. And because you're the terrorist, we have to protect you from you. So, how can we combat this? We can't combat it no matter what we do. Protests are not working. I don't care what you say. They're just not. 5 million people in the street raising hell. They got signs shaking up and down, carrying on and about. Do you think the government or governments care? They don't. They just laugh. Do you think writing your congressman is going to do anything? Do you think getting on the phone is going to do anything? It's not, and it never will. Because that doesn't get their undivided attention. But when you have a group that has no structure, that has no face, that has no voice, but has the power, the actual power to wreak absolute technological havoc on any organization, that, my friend, would get anybody's undivided attention. Because you can't wipe your ass today without a computer sitting right next to you. So this is why I myself am a firm believer in the organization known as Anonymous. And I'm proud to say it too. I am proud to say that. Am I myself an anon? No, I am not. But do I support the things that they have done when it comes to specifically financial institutions, government organizations, ridiculous religious-based groups? Absolutely. Because you know something? It all boils down to ones and zeros. And you better watch yours. I'm Montagraph, and if you can't speak freely, you're simply not free. Have a good night.